Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sunup on 7. I am Kevin Mendes.
And I'm Miriam Abdul-Kawi. Good morning, Belize.
There's like getting there, trying to get a groove.
I was like, I'm trying to feel it. First time ever hearing that song.
Yeah, okay, that is from Carol G.
Yes.
But thank you so much for welcoming Miriam into your space. We're going to be having a great episode. Miriam, let's tease them what can they expect on today's show.
Yeah, so because it's Wellness Wednesday, we have a little bit from a hospital. So we have Dr. Sosa coming in, talking about World Stroke Day and the importance of knowing the symptoms before you have a stroke. And then we also have the Best Fit Pharmacy coming in today. There's a new pharmacy that's popping up on the scene. So for those people who need to get some meds.
That's true. They're going to talk about their services, where can you find them, and of course, how can you engage. Great episodes prepared for you today. Definitely, we thank you so much for joining us. And Miriam, let's get to the couch.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I always go before. Hold on.
Come on.
I've come to find that the truth isn't what we were told. So where
to everybody on Sunup.
do I seek the answer that's worth looking for today? Just in time,
He's here to talk to us
the
about
writing appears on
the
the
show that we're on
wall.
right now. Tell me.
You and I were the first ones to see
And we're going to be talking about the hot shush that has been
the
happening
world
over
that
the
we
weekend.
see
So
may
far.
seem that will never change. They say, but if you tear down the wall that's blinding us all, you see the way today. A place to call your own, a place where you can grow. Stand by me and we'll take flight. We'll be there
Muy buenos dias, my Sunup on 7 family. Welcome to your Hump Day episode. Miriam and I are very excited about today's episode. Let's get started by having a look at the weather, courtesy of the Belize Met Service.
And in the 24-hour forecast, skies will be sunny with cloudy spells today and then cloudy at times tonight. Showers or thunderstorms will be isolated this morning, then gradually increase around the country by this evening. Then for tonight, activity will gradually decrease and then linger mostly offshore. High temperatures for today will reach around 85 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 88 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and then 77 degrees Fahrenheit in the mountains. For tonight, low temperatures will reach around 74 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 70 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and then 65 in the hills. Winds over the open sea will be from the north to northwest at 10 to 20 knots, with sea conditions being moderate. But please note that a small craft caution may go into effect for later this evening, as winds are expected to become occasionally gusty and seas locally rough. And then high tides occur at 10:31 this morning and at 9:13 tonight. Low tides at 5:01 this evening and then at 3:34 tomorrow morning. The moon will rise at 12:32 this afternoon and set at 11:59 tonight, while sunset is at 5:22 this evening and sunrise at 5:50 tomorrow morning. And now for the extended forecast. Skies will be generally cloudy with isolated showers or periods of light rain expected for Thursday and Thursday night with the approach of a cold front. Next, we have the sargassum update. Latest satellite observations show a few small sargassum mats beyond the barrier reef. The forecast suggests that a few of these mats may drift towards northern coastal areas during the coming days. However, overall impacts are expected to be minimal. And finally, for the tropical weather outlook. At 6 a.m., Hurricane Melissa, now a Category 2 storm, continues to move over eastern Cuba and was located near latitude 20.6 north and longitude 75.7 west, or about 45 miles northwest of Guantanamo, Cuba. Melissa was moving to the north-northeast at 14 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds of 105 miles per hour. And a faster northeastward motion is expected during the coming days. And please note that Melissa continues to pose no threat to Belize. This has been this morning's weather report from the National Meteorological Service.
And that is your weather update, courtesy of the National Meteorological Service. We definitely encourage you to stay tuned to it. Hurricane Melissa poses no threat to Belize, which we're grateful for. Nevertheless, check with your colleagues, with your folks, with your family in Cuba. You know, we know that Hurricane Melissa is on its way to, in Jamaica, it's on its way to Cuba, so definitely check with your relatives, any friends, any relatives that you have there that just want to ensure that they're safe. But in all of this, stay tuned to your National Meteorological Service for accurate updates.
Yeah, and we have more updates too as we get into our couch talk.
Miriam, how is your energy this Wednesday?
It's good. It's getting there.
It's getting there?
Yeah, it's getting there. Throughout this morning, I'll be more awake as we go along.
Okay, yeah. So from 0 to 10, what is your energy level today?
Like a 6.
Okay.
Yeah, keeping it calm and cute.
Is it because it's a Wednesday?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, Wellness Wednesday. I'm being reflective. How are you doing?
All right.
How you doing?
I'm pretty grateful. You know, like I got up at 4:30, which is way ahead of my alarm at 5 a.m.
Why are you up so early?
Because now I get up at 4:30 to go run.
Oh, good for you.
Because I'm now training for the end of the world in Placencia in December.
Okay, I thought you meant the end of the world in general.
End of the world, like
just because of like the political atmosphere.
Whatever.
And,
I think we should also be training for that. You know, doomsday prepping if anybody's doing it. Definitely.
Are you a doomsday prepper?
No.
Okay.
I'm just living one day at a time and doing the best I can every day.
We all are. So good for you. I'm glad you got up and you got your endorphins going this morning.
Yeah. So I got up early. You know, had my coffee and ready to go on this episode. So I'm really grateful to share this space with you.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. And be here with the
so if you're watching via Facebook Live, thank you so much for your contribution, for all your inputs you're already putting in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from, or you're celebrating anything. We'd love to give you a shout out today. Remember that anything is worth celebrating, no matter how large or big it is.
Exactly.
We would love to share that energy with you. If you're watching via YouTube or cable TV, thank you so much for joining us. Miriam, are you ready to start Couch Talk?
Yes, let's start our Couch Talk. And we're starting things off with the storm that's on everyone's mind, the most historic storm. Melissa, Hurricane Melissa makes landfall made landfall in Jamaica, and now is making landfall in Cuba.
today.
So we have so many notes and we have so many updates. But first of all, I just want to say, I'm thinking of Jamaica, thinking of everyone in Cuba. We're thinking of everyone in Bermuda as the storm continues to move. We're sending prayers to all our family and friends in the Caribbean. I feel like the entire Caribbean was watching Melissa and kind of tense and holding our breaths because, this storm really came with a lot of force, and it's a
Yeah.
historic storm, 185 mile per hour wind. So here's an update. We know that Hurricane Melissa made landfall in Jamaica, and there were so many. There's just so many damage across the entire country, and we'll get into that. But for right now, today, Wednesday, it made landfall in Cuba. After making all that destruction in Jamaica, and most people were cut off from internet and major airports were closed. Melissa hit Jamaica on Tuesday as one of the strongest Category 5 storms on record. And at one stage packing, like we said, look at that footage, my God, 185 miles per hour winds. It knocked out communications and power for large swaths of the island, making it difficult for the authorities to get reliable assessments of the damage. And so you can see here there's video
We can
and
see the
photos.
videos. It's like very catastrophic winds. As you mentioned, Miriam, it
it
has
is.
185 miles per hour, which was a historic hurricane. There was a lot of folks in Jamaica. This is the first hurricane they're experiencing
Yes.
at this magnitude. Definitely, the fact that the hurricane was moving slow was a deep concern for how it's going to affect Jamaica.
Yeah.
What we do know is that it was catastrophic.
It
As you mentioned,
was.
at the time, there has not been a clear evaluation about the
No.
aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, as there's more than 6,000 persons that were affected. We know that 70% of the island is without power and
Yes.
internet. So definitely, the assessment for that to take place is ongoing. So we're waiting to see what is the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. But definitely, if you're trying to reach your relative, probably there without
Yeah.
power or internet at the moment to stay
Exactly.
communicated. What we do know as the hurricane is approaching, making landfall in Cuba
Cuba,
today, is that the
yeah.
Cuban government, they have evacuated 750,000 persons ahead of the storm,
Yeah.
which is really good to see in terms of how they go about preparing
Yeah.
for a hurricane. And so we're going to stay tuned to what's going to be that update as in regards to Hurricane Melissa's
Right.
impact in Jamaica, and definitely how it continues through Cuba. You mentioned something very key, which is, your thoughts and prayers go a long way as we're hoping that everybody is safe
Yes,
in
we
these
do.
areas. But definitely, I've seen online there's a lot of movement as in regards to how can we support our
Exactly.
Jamaican families. So I've seen that people are already starting with drives to be able
Mm-hmm.
to send supplies over to Jamaica.
Jamaica.
I know like the
Yeah.
National Student Association of Belize is also planning on sending supplies to
Yeah.
students, Belizean students that are stuck in Jamaica. So it's, at one way or another, it's good to see that the community is coming together to be able to support our Jamaican family that got
Yeah.
affected by Hurricane Melissa.
Yeah, and it's just completely certain areas were just devastated. As I was keeping up with the updates, I know St. Elizabeth was just completely devastated. Montego Bay, just the video footage that we saw that you can see on social media, people recording. And knowing that the airport is partially down, 2 hospitals are down. It's hard and I was watching an interview with the Prime Minister of Jamaica. He was saying it's hard to do a rescue. It's hard to assess how to go about rescuing because power lines are down. There's flooding everywhere. So the personnel that are going out to rescue, they still have to be safe for themselves.
That is true.
So they kind of have to wait for the storm to peter down before they can make an assessment and go out for the rescue.
Yeah.
For rescue operations to happen. So it's just really sad. And certain areas got up to 20 to 25 inches of water.
Yeah.
Phone lines are down, trees
That's
have fallen
true.
down,
If I can
the
add,
lights are
Miriam,
down.
what we do know also is that the Prime Minister of Jamaica yesterday declared Jamaica to be in a state of emergency,
Yes, he did.
given the current level of devastation that has occurred as a result of Hurricane Melissa. What is also part of the state of emergency is that they're doing whatever they can to ensure the security and safety of Jamaicans.
Yes.
It also includes the And it's surprising that, it's no different from Belize in regards to price gouging, because
Yeah,
they're conscious that a lot of Jamaicans are going to get supplies. So they're closely monitoring, all the cost of items as Jamaicans, again, continue their supplies to ensure that there is no such thing as price gouging, to ensure
That's
that
really
everybody has
good.
able to be to access resources to be able to stay safe and supplied while they recover from the aftermath of
Right.
Hurricane Melissa.
For sure. And as you mentioned earlier, Kevin, there are a lot of people in the international community and the Caribbean community who are sending along aid as much as they can and help. I know a lot of help is coming in from the U.S., from the different Caribbean neighborhoods, especially in New York. The Jamaicans who are there, they were putting together a lot of care packages. So that's happening all across the United States and all across the Caribbean. People are putting together packages to help send aid. But
Yeah.
I want to talk about this storm because it's historic. And it went from a Category 5 to a Category 4. And now it's heading to Cuba, but it's sitting in the water. And I just fear that it may, potentially go back to a 5 because it's sitting in the water. Usually when a storm goes over land, makes landfall, it breaks up. Not Melissa. Like, literally, it went down one, from a Category 5 to now it's a Category 4, and it's still going to cause damage
Yeah.
as it makes its way through Cuba and then on to Bermuda. I mean, this is a huge historic storm.
Yeah, what we do know is, like, if you are monitoring the hurricane, is that the temperature of the water where Melissa was strengthening, it was, very, very warm. And
Yeah.
like warm waters is the necessary ingredient for a storm to strengthen.
Yeah, so
and I
it
think
could
the
potentially.
conversation is important in regards to global warming and the
very
catastrophes that can come as a result of climate change and global warming.
Yeah.
So this is what we do know is that storms now, we're gonna be seeing storms with this strength.
Yeah.
And for us, like, I think when I reflect on Belize, it's like, are we prepared to face a storm of this magnitude?
Yeah.
What it would take? Are you within your own spaces securing yourself for a storm of this magnitude? Because with the current trend of global warming and climate change, this is definitely gonna be something that we're gonna be seeing more, which is
Of course.
storms of this category.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miriam, let's move on to our next couch talk topic.
Sure.
And now let's talk about American Belizean Naya Young, who wins Tampa City Council seat in special elections.
Yeah, she did. So this is an amazing win for her because she's never been elected to office, and she still won
Yeah.
despite a huge donation gap. So I have some numbers here. So she won with 61% of votes, Kevin,
Yeah.
while her opponent, Thomas Scott, won by 39% of votes. And I think that's just a reflection of kind of people reacting to the political climate in America right now and wanting a fresh face and wanting someone honest. She's young, she wants to help, and this wasn't her first time, going up for an election. She lost the first time, I believe, but yeah, there she is, Naya Young. So it's a big upset for the Tampa City Council because people, I think because she's a newcomer and Thomas Scott is in the political arena, they just thought like, oh,
Yeah,
she's just some
he was so-
newcomer.
he was so
and
confident that he was gonna
she
win,
was
yeah.
gonna lose, but she won. And I have a quote here from her. She says, I think it's a true testament to people in the city and individuals who really just believe in wanting something new, wanting a fresh perspective, not wanting to continue to go on like politics as usual. We need something new in the city, and I'm proud of that number, her 61% of votes. So congratulations to Naya Young for her win. And she'll be sworn in at City Hall on Friday, October 31st, after they certify the election results. But she clearly won by like,
Yeah, by
a huge-
61%. That's
Yeah.
a huge majority of winning. And definitely why it's making news is a Belizean American
Of course.
creating a political change within the U.S. Political system. So
Yeah.
congratulations, Naya Young, on your win. Maybe in the future we can have a conversation with her.
Oh,
to,
that would be great.
Check out what her inspiration to get into politics and how does she plan to transform Tampa. And definitely, I guess we celebrate the diaspora who are doing great things throughout the globe because we do know that Belizeans are everywhere and in one way or another creating a change. We move on to our next couch talk topic, and the Belize Tax Service employees are willing to strike over Sarah, which in an interview with Prime Minister John Briceño, he said that it's taken by a surprise. He was unaware that this was kind of like a notion or a mindset or a move that the employees of the Belize Tax Services are planning on ongoing. Because as you recall, the public service union, they have been having conversations as in regards to SARA, and how controversial they feel it was, especially say regards to the transition from one point to the next, where employees they had to resign from the position they were at, had to reapply to be employed under SARA, and what that would look like.
Right.
And they were given some options as in regards to what is the course of action that they would like to do as in regards to the employees of the Belize Tax Service. They're saying the option one was to maintain the current course, continue to wait for a government response without further immediate action. Option two was to escalate immediately. The Public Service Union should declare a trade dispute and simultaneously begin strategic industrial action. And option three was issue the legal required 21-day notice of our intention to embark on full-scale industrial action up to and including a strike if dispute is not resolved. The truth is, it's about 256 employees within the Belize Tax Service. I am sure that within the 256 persons, there is a divided view of this transition. Because as in regards, I'm thinking, and please provide your input here, is as in regards to a lot of people are employed in the public service because it is, financial stability and financial security. At the end of the month, you're getting your paycheck.
Exactly.
Right? And so there's like how much people are willing to risk, losing their financial stability by resigning and applying with the possibility that you will be re-employed by this new administration or this new governance structure as regards to the tax system.
Right.
So people must, because they had the option of resigning again and applying, and what is also a commodity that's coming if you were to get into the new system is that you also get a pay increase. So some people are completely against based on how the process of introducing SARA went, and now with this saying, okay, you can get re-employed, but now you come with this commodity of an increase in pay. So I can see where there can be a divide in this 250 plus employees.
Course.
And so how will industrial action look like, and the impact that it would have if not everybody shows up?
Exactly. And going to your point, Kevin, I think it goes back to the financial security point for the people who are resisting. I mean, this is about job security. So the moment that you hear that, wait, what? I don't have the same position, and then I have to reapply. I'm already here. Why do I have to reapply? So it goes back to that point of job security. And that's just normal for anyone, any human being. Like, you're going to feel fear in regards to your work.
Yeah.
So they're like, no, I have to change. And I think it's a broader conversation that goes back when, not that this is the situation, but when people come in and then they take over and it's just like, you have to do what we say. And then there's no kind of discussion. How do you feel about this move? This is what we're going to do step by step. It's just kind of like, this is what's happening and you must comply. And that instills fear in people because it's like, wait, what about my voice? What about how this is going to affect me? Is this secure for me? Will I have a job? And so it goes back to what you were saying, Kevin. It's the financial security and the job security that's on the table for some people here. And what if they reapply? Like, for example, what if you reapply and then you don't get your job back? Like, then what? You know what I mean? What do you do then?
Yeah.
Especially thinking that this was a secure job that you had working with government. So it's just sad, like, when these situations happen, I think people start to feel despair or apathetic. And maybe the people who are like, well, let's move forward, trying to stay hopeful. Let's move forward and trust the process. But at the same time, I think even in doing so, just informing people as these big decisions are being made, but on the ground level, not just making the decision, but like going to them and let them know this is what we're doing, will kind of ease that kind of fear and that tension. You know what I mean, Kevin?
Yeah. So the public service has said that, they've submitted a comprehensive position paper to cabinet detailing legal violations and demanding evidence.
Yes, I saw
They
that.
formally requested consultation with the Ministry of Public Service as mandated by the Public Services Regulation and sought clarity on your job security, accrued rights, and terms of service. They'll go ahead and saying that this silence is a strategy because up to date, they have not received any response from the ministries. It's saying critically the Ministry of Public Service, the entity constitutionally mandated to protect public officers, has failed to intervene or provide clarity for them.
Yeah.
So they're saying the fact that you're being silent, that's a strategy of like moving forward, which is designed to delay, demoralize, and force the public service union to accept a flawed process.
Yeah.
So it's a really tough space, right?
It
Where
is.
they're just going ahead with what they have in mind, with their intention, without the proper consultation and
Yeah.
like following all these mandates and regulations as regards to what is the due process for such transition to take place.
Yeah.
Um,
And so we'll continue to follow this story, obviously, Kevin, to see what the outcome is, and we
that's
hope
true.
for the
Will
best.
they
But
strike? That's-
will they strike? Yeah, that's a big question.
Yeah,
All right, should we move along
let's do it.
to our next couch talk point, which is Belize City was named as a global finalist in the 2025 Bloomberg Philanthropies Local Leader Awards. Kevin, what do you think about that? I don't know why when I read this, I was thinking of you when I was reading up on it, because you're always traveling abroad and going to these events, and not that you're getting awards, but you're representing Belize. So I think, first of all, congratulations.
To the Belize City Council.
To the Belize City Council. This is a huge deal. I mean, to get recognized internationally for an e-mobility climate project, along with these other huge countries.
Yeah.
And even though Belize is a finalist, and we won't find out who wins, I believe, until next month. They still get to go abroad and represent Belize and collect the award for being a finalist.
That is true.
It's an honor for them to be nominated, and if they win, they'll get a grant. But the mayor and the team will be headed to Brazil, and it's a first-time nomination.
That is true.
this
So what we
magnitude.
can say about the 2025 Bloomberg Philanthropies Local Leader Award is that there's 26 finalists, and basically this award celebrates the best policies and projects in regards to effectively addressing climate change. And as you mentioned, Miriam, Belize got nominated for this Bloomberg Philanthropies Local Leader Award on their e-mobility project, which emphasizes on reducing emission, improving air quality, and demonstrate best practices and the benefits of electric mobility transportation. As you know, like here in the city, there's the e-bus that people take, which I take, which you take.
Yes.
And then there's also like e-taxis and these electronic charging stations, which
Yeah.
again is pretty new for the city and is their
It
city's
is.
way of contributing to reducing climate change. When you ask me my thoughts,
Why do you look at me like that? He gave me a look,
Yeah.
y'all. He was like,
yeah, I do think in one way it does contribute to reducing emissions. We know
It
like
does.
the use of electric vehicles. I do feel that we can do more as in regards to meaningfully addressing climate change, and because. For instance, how much people have access to electric vehicles?
I know.
Right?
I know. That's a great
It's pretty much a luxury if you have an electric vehicle
Yeah.
and be able to access these charging stations. People are still navigating on second-hand vehicles. They're still navigating on these broke-up buses.
Just everyday
and all of
life
these things, right? So
survival.
it's a bit classist, if I could say.
Yeah.
But definitely, it's
I always appreciate your view, Kevin, because I'm always remaining hopeful, but you're always like, womp, womp. Like, here are the
Yeah.
numbers, Miriam. Let me be.
Yeah, because I mean,
Yeah.
like honestly, like it's a great way we're going.
It is.
But definitely, as it regards to like how we talk about our issue with pollution, for instance, and
I-
and we know like the amount of garbage that we produce in the city, like which is. If you've
A
been to the
lot.
city, like like we do have a lot of garbage.
We have an
floating
issue
around.
with,
We do
you
have
know, garbage
and all of
and
those things
pollution.
contribute to pollution, contribute to creating an effective climate change and environmental impact. So like, how are we addressing like these little
Yeah.
things that we see in our space?
Yeah, but I do
meaningfully?
think that this, Kevin, I'm sorry, not to cut
No,
you
no,
off.
go ahead.
Is moving us forward in the right direction and is sending the right message.
Definitely, yeah.
Because for us to be nominated is a big deal. And I think that being nominated in one particular area when it comes to climate and climate change, yes, with the e-buses and the e-service, cab service, can open up for a broader conversation for we really have to get it together as a country when it comes to pollution, and the garbage situation and, kind of taking care of that and dealing with that in a way that doesn't continue to hurt the land and our air. You know what I mean? Like, people come to this country, we are one of our biggest revenue for the entire country, our industry, the tourism industry. No one wants to come and swim in trash. You know what I'm saying? And we keep our islands pristine, thank God. But there are parts of the country where the trash is just everywhere and thrown into water and thrown into land, and there's landfills. And that's a whole other conversation.
I do have an issue with the word pristine, just so you know.
You do?
Yeah, because nowhere is pristine.
Okay, but there are areas that you can go
Where you can see less garbage.
where you can see
But
less
there's
garbage.
garbage everywhere, so nowhere
But
is
there's garbage
pristine.
everywhere. But I mean, not to the point where tourists are complaining about it, where they go to an island or they go somewhere and they're like, oh, this is so gross. Like, look at all this trash in the water. No, they're complaining about the sargassum.
Yeah.
So that's just another aspect. But I think it's like I said, I just think it's moving us in the direction of a broader conversation about how are we disposing of trash? How are we taking care of our country? Yes, the e-mobility and e-service is one area and one part about carbon emissions through vehicles and stuff like that. That's another conversation. Like you said, it can be
Yeah.
classist because who can afford an e-vehicle right now?
But what we do know is that, but if you improve the public transportation, then more people are motivated or incentivized to use it
Exactly.
and park their vehicle, because now you
Exactly.
have a reliable transport system. And what we can say so far, at least from experience,
Yeah.
is that the e-bus is pretty reliable.
Yeah.
Right? You can track it on an app, which is pretty
It is,
innovative.
it
It's like
is.
you have not seen such thing in the country, where you
Yeah.
can see the bus location. So congratulations to them for that.
Yeah.
But also, like this, just the comfort of navigating on this e-bus is pretty good.
Yeah.
So congratulations to them for
Yeah. Once again,
coming back to the
congratulations.
synopsis of it.
Yeah.
For being nominated
took a
for the
detour.
2025 Bloomberg Philanthropies
Yeah.
Local Leaders Award. They compete against 26 finalists. We're going to see what's the outcome.
Yeah.
But definitely, the fact that they're going to engage with these other countries allows them to learn what are best experiences and best practices in other countries that can be applied here to Belize. So we'll stay tuned to what's going to be that outcome. But
Yeah, we do.
congratulations once
Yeah,
more.
congratulations.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin, we're moving to our final couch talk
This is
topic.
a
This
hard-
is a bit heavy, folks. So trigger warning.
a hard pill to swallow.
In
for some.
regards to domestic violence, anyone who doesn't want to hear about that, giving you a little trigger warning first. So our final couch talk point is we'll hear from you've been seeing that in the newscast, there's been like a 3-part series to Dr. Herbert Gale, who is talking about men and saying, he's a social violence anthropologist, and he's saying, men were not designed to carry the amount of pain that they do. And this is subtitled by the main title, which is Why Do Men Kill Women? All right, Kevin, I'm gonna let you take this
Go
first
ahead.
because,
What are your thoughts about it?
oh my God, there's so many thoughts on this, right? I think initially because the entire interview wasn't aired, there was a huge backlash to the part 1. People were like, what did I just watch? What is he saying? That it's women's fault that they're being abused and things like that. But you have to see the entire interview to get his point, because he's a social violence anthropologist. So this is something that he studied. He understands the numbers and the
Yeah.
statistics. So he's not just pulling this out of, this is just an opinion and experience-based. But I think it opens up a broader conversation, Kevin, no matter where you are, how you feel about what's happening. This opens up a broader conversation to how violence is culturally accepted. It's in songs, it's about, people talk about it. I don't even want to talk about my personal experiences, but as far as people just saying to me, well, that's why you behave like that, kaya man, no beat you. You know what I mean? And it's just like literally accepted, and then people laugh. I don't think it's funny if someone tells me that or tells anyone that, to perpetuate abuse on a person, male or female. You know what I mean? So laughing about it isn't gonna help anything. But also seeing the human being that usually who is the abuser was abused as well. And so I think that's a big point that he's bringing forward when he says men were not designed to carry the amount of pain that they do. He's not saying that women were designed to carry the pain that they experience. That's not what he's saying. When you see the entire series, you'll see his main point. So it's unfortunate, but it's a conversation that needs to happen, because you need to look at both sides to see why this continues to happen. And it starts from when the children are young.
That is true. That is true.
And it's a heavy conversation.
It is a heavy
It's
conversation.
A heavy topic.
Like it can turn very much into a man talking about it and say, oh, he's mansplaining.
Yeah,
But
he's
definitely, as you
mansplaining
mentioned,
why men are abusive.
He's somebody that is an anthropologist that has worked in this area. He also provided counseling to people that are, in situations of violence and conflict, especially in relationships. So he comes with a lot of knowledge, with a lot of experience and scientific research that has gone into this process.
Yeah.
So, take a minute to to see his interview. I know that Channel 7 is going to air the complete interview at some point during this week for you to
Yeah.
get the full concept of what he's saying.
Yeah, I think we have part 3 tonight.
Yeah,
and then the
but
entire
definitely,
interview by
again,
Friday.
it's important to have the conversation in regards to like why like men are abusers, or being perpetuators of abuse, and definitely he talks about the social upbringing of men, right? Where you mentioned it starts from young, but we always continue the conversation when it comes to 16 days of activism and addressing domestic violence. We talk about breaking the cycle, right? And breaking the cycle starts at home.
Yeah.
But definitely one of the ways how this needs to happen, and we talk about this, is accessing therapy, right? I think therapy is a very important thing if you want to break the cycle, because now you're sitting down and having a moment with your trauma and saying, hey, I want to deal with this so I do not continue to passing on to like other people. And I think that's a very important thing. I also feel like we have to start naming the causes for what they are and talk about patriarchy, talk about capitalism,
Yeah.
talk about misogyny. I know these are words that we do not speak in our daily conversations,
but
but
it's
these
a
are
part
the
of
culprits behind the
Yeah.
reason why we have the current state of affairs in regards to like violence and security of citizens.
Yeah.
Because the conditions how we've grown under patriarchy and capitalism
Yeah.
has contributed to the mindset of men, also to the mindset of women, and how we interact in our society.
Yeah, and I think, thinking about all the news stories that came out recently, Kevin, about the domestic violence situations, but then not only that, but leading to femicide and leading to women's lives being at stake, and women losing their lives and children losing their lives. That's when it's taken, unfortunately, to this extreme that cannot be ignored. And it's not right. And I think the outcry from the community is, why aren't there more stipulations in place for the people perpetuating this? Why aren't there more? It's like, it's just culturally accepted. Like people talk about like, oh, and this and that, or this happened and there's an outcry. And then what really happens? What really changes policy-wise? What really changes to help this not happen again? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yes, there needs to be laws and things put in place to help this, to rectify the situation and for the perpetrators to be dealt with. But then behind all that, why is it happening? And I think that's what Dr. Herbert Gale is trying to get to. Because like I was using the example earlier when we were talking about it, if you have 2 babies in front of you, 2 toddlers, one's a boy, one's a girl, and you pinch the little girl, she crying, you pinch the little boy, and you're like, stop, ball, be a man. I've heard parents beat their sons, 5-year-old, 10-year-old, 3-year-old. The baby's crying. It's a baby. Stop, be a man, be a man. It's like, it's a baby. Me as an outsider, I have to stand up for the child, but I know that in that moment, that's just that one time. When I leave, this big thing still get beat. I mean, and so you're socializing him, you're programming him to understand that being a man means pain.
Yeah.
And experiencing that and not caring about your emotional state. So when that person internalizes that and starts doing that, now he's the problem. But he wasn't helped or taken care of either. So, it's a touchy topic because it's not okay that this is being perpetuated either way, both sides, and that women are losing their lives because of violence. So I think it opens up a broader conversation that we need to have, you know what I mean, socially, culturally, and really deal with it, because at the end of the day, people are going to make their own decisions, but society does sway, and how you grow up does sway, how you move forward. So, and some people are saying in the chat that this has always been at the bottom of the priority list, as far as understanding men's feelings. Being a man means to be silent, means to be the provider, means to not show any emotion and just move forward like a machine, and not showing any vulnerability. But remember, that man was once a child. Just keep that in mind. That man was once a child, and any child hurt will cry for help or whatever. Now, you do have people that are unfortunately bullies, narcissists, psychotic. Like, they're just like, you're crazy. Like, people like that not just bully women, bully men and threaten them. So that's why people don't want to get involved, because then the man is not only abusing the woman and threatening to kill her, and then sometimes goes forward with they're threatening to kill you. So then how do you, taper that problem? So like I said, it's a bigger conversation that we can have, Kevin, and we can go on this topic. And it's
Definitely.
just really sad. And my condolences, I just want to say to all the families that have suffered because of this. I grew up in a family with my mother doing a lot of domestic violence work going around the country. She worked for a nonprofit organization to teach women how to defend themselves and how to ask for help and what were the resources in place to ask for help. But also under that conversation, there were men who needed help as well. And people don't want to talk about that either, that men are abused. Men are physically
Right.
abused and
Yeah.
psychologically abused and financially abused as well. So that's a whole other conversation. But like I said, it's a conversation that we can continue to have as a country and come to some terms of how we're going to rectify it
Right.
on a
And
whole.
if I can quickly just
Yeah.
just advocate for one of the things that Dr. Gale has been advocating for is
Mm-hmm.
providing the adequate social services to be able to address these causes. He's saying increase in policing, increase in the number of police officers does not really address the violent situation. We have to go and meaningfully invest in social services for us to, help men and help society heal. And we are clearly not investing in the proper way.
No.
That's one thing. So if we can do within our policies and within our country's investment, let's address on the human development, on
The
social issues,
behavioral
on the behavior
issues, yeah.
of people. So
From the behavior aspect.
that's
I
a
agree.
very important conversation.
Yeah.
But definitely, Channel 7 is going to air the complete interview with Dr.
Yes.
Gale. So stay tuned for that. Look at it, be able to sit down, absorb this information, interpret it, have the conversation with your community, because it's very important for us to go ahead and be able to address this.
Yes,
And then
it
also
is.
let's talk about, just another conversation, but let's talk about teenage pregnancy, right? And young parents, which they have not fully grown to be able to be wise and be mature about parenting, that they are just kids growing kids, right? So that also contributes to the way how our society is.
Yeah.
So there's
so many
definitely so many
factors.
layers to contribute.
There's so
to the
many layers
current-
and factors that contribute to it, Kevin, but it doesn't make it okay
I agree. It does not make
that
it
monsters
okay.
were created and monsters are perpetuating violence towards themselves and others. So
Definitely.
how are we going to deal with that going forward? I hope that this opens up a deeper conversation on to move forward.
Yes. So with that, we come to the end of our couch talk. We want to
Yeah.
say thank you so much for your contribution to everybody that's joining us. If you're watching via Facebook Live, definitely we see your comments, and I hope that your comments are also able to spark a community discussion with our
Yeah.
online watchers. As we wrap up, we have a beautiful sunrise to share
We
with you, so we're
do.
going to cue that in.
Trying to guess
Yeah.
where this is from, obviously,
Yeah.
Belize City.
And also, let's work towards ensuring that the lighthouse stays there for longer, because there was articles where it's dilapidating, right?
yes.
It's gonna.
It's
But let's enjoy it while it's here. If
Why
I can
you
say
have
that.
to be like that?
Girl,
You're
I
like,
am so sorry. It's
You're
just,
like, yeah, drop over.
you want to drop
He's
over
like,
soon?
wah, wah.
Wah,
Debbie
wah.
Downer. It's like, I'll
Yeah.
try to be hopeful. It's just so beautiful.
It's
He's
so
like,
beautiful.
But remember the story when they drop over?
Yeah.
This is Kevin.
But it's definitely beautiful.
Anyway, thank you. This was from Hasak Reyes. Thank you for sending in that beautiful sunrise for us. And I'm sure that there's plans being put into place to save our lighthouse, Kevin. So
I hope so.
let's go finish off with
Yes.
a positive.
So photos are great because, they last longer.
Ooh, good Lord.
I love it. Well, okay, so we go back. We're gonna go to our first commercial break. When we're back, we have a great conversation with the owners of Best Fit Pharmacy to talk about
Yeah.
what offers they have, their location, their numbers, and of course, what services are available. Stay tuned for that.
Hi, have you heard about the expungement of criminal records? Well, as of August 1st, 2024, the Criminal Records Rehabilitation of Offenders Act allows for you to apply to have certain criminal charges permanently erased from your record. Isn't that amazing?
So, what makes you eligible to apply for expungement? The offense must qualify for expungement based on Schedule 2 and 3 of the law. You must meet the applicable rehabilitation period. This is the time period you must wait before you can apply. The applicant must not have any outstanding matters or have had any other convictions during the rehabilitation period. You can qualify for automatic expungement for certain first-time drug offenses, as well as COVID-related offenses. So, what are the benefits of expungement? Well, it broadens employment and educational opportunities that a criminal record would normally hinder.
It gives you a peace of mind away from the stigma of having a criminal conviction and provides you with access to services that may be otherwise restricted.
If you have a past criminal conviction, here's what you can do to get it expunged. First, verify if you qualify for expungement. Then, prepare the application package. Each package consists of 2 forms. Applications are available countrywide. You then make a non-refundable payment of $100 at your nearest Treasury Department and finally submit the package and payment receipt to any Ministry of Human Development office countrywide. Note, applicants will receive a notification within 90 days to see if their application was approved or denied. So, if you are interested, visit any Human Development office countrywide, any magistrate court, or the Ministry of Home Affairs office in Belmopan. For more information, you can call 227-2716 or you can WhatsApp 613-0343.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Un grupo de gente que hemos trabajado muy duro y la tierra es para la gente de Bellavista. ¿Para qué? Para que los jóvenes puedan tener tierra. ¿Para qué? Para que los jóvenes puedan desarrollarse en el futuro. Algo que les hacía falta por mucho tiempo. Nuestros padres vienen de las fincas bananeras. Somos gentes que hemos sufrido mucho y ustedes como jóvenes se merecen mejores oportunidades.
If you didn't have land before, you will have land now. Once you have land, you have wealth.
I think they want to build, they want to settle.
I'm already having dreams of my home and everything.
You know, the words are just, I'm really excited. I'm really happy. I can finally begin to build a house.
It's just a great feeling, you know.
Mi amigo es un hermano, una persona para el pobre. ¿Estamos de acuerdo?
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sunup on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your nation station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
These charter means aren't
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023 in the...
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Shirley Halsell,
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indira Craig.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Muy buenos dias, my beautiful Sunup on 7 family. Welcome back to your Wednesday episode. We're excited for our first conversation, and joining us on our couch, we have the owners of Best Fit Pharmacy, Jorge Villanueva and Kiriam Villanueva joining us. Good morning, folks.
Good morning.
How is your energy this Wednesday?
It's getting there.
Getting there. It's getting there. It's midweek.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you so much for coming all the way from Orange Walk today. Wow, that's a journey. But we're so grateful because we're here to talk about Best Fit Pharmacy, you know, where you're located. And you also have some products available
Yes, they do.
for to talk about with our viewers. We know flu season is coming up, so you have some particular products out there. And of course, for people that are into the fitness lifestyle, you also have some products that we're going to talk about recently. Miriam,
Yeah.
so let's get started with it.
Yeah, so tell us a bit more about Best Fit Pharmacy.
Yeah, well, first of all, good morning once again. Good morning, Belize. Thank you guys for having us here. It's truly an honor. So, Best Fit Pharmacy, well, we're located at number 2 Park Street, Orange Walk Town, right at the center of Sugar City. We're located right across from La Immaculata Credit Union. And we've been operating since July 2021. So it's been 4 years since we've opened our doors and have been serving the community. And we offer the best pharmaceutical products for the best prices while also offering the best customer service. That's why best is in our name.
Yeah, the best fit. Yes. Okay.
Those are a lot of bests. So going back to the word best, why Best Fit Pharmacy? Because going back to what you said, you guys have the best products. Best this, best that.
Yeah, that's why best is in there. Fit is in there because we promote overall wellness, overall health.
Okay.
It's holistic, right? So we offer.
Thank you.
We offer the usual multivitamins. We offer medicine so that you can regain back your health for whatever it is that you're battling. We also have supplements for physical fitness as well too. And we also have skincare products as well on sale. So it's overall holistic, you know. We cater to everything, to all your needs so that you could remain healthy and fit.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just a regular pharmacy that you would go and get medication. You can go to Best Fit Pharmacy for your skincare needs. Also, if you're a fit fanatic, Kevin. And also for pharmaceuticals. Is there something you wanted to add, Kevin?
No, I was like looking at the products and say if we can discuss some of them. In regards, we know, like as we were talking about before the segment, is that the weather is changing, and we know like other people can get affected by this weather change.
Yes.
We know like during this time of the year, respiratory infections are very common. So you have some products available there for respiratory infections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, there's been a spike in the cough and cold recently. And like you said, the change of weather, it's been hot these days. At the nights, it's pretty cool. And a lot of kids are getting sick these days. And people tend to take cold baths, and that's one of the main things you should avoid while having cold and flu. So that's what we have here to demonstrate. I have this very classic, as you said, the 7 C's. This is what I was given when I was small.
Yes, same.
I guess everyone, yeah. It has the omega-3, that's fish oils. Very few like it, but it's 100% effective to boost up the immune system. It also contains the vitamin C, which is very effective for the immune system as well. So it's recommended to give the kids now before the cold season starts in December, January, so that if they do get sick, they won't get it as bad. You know? That's why it's also recommended for them to get the flu shot. And people have the mentality that they won't get the flu. That is false. They will get it, but they won't get affected as bad.
Thank you so much for highlighting that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just like a question, 7 C's is for both kids and adults?
Yeah, both kids and adults. Adults, they prefer drinking the syrup as well because it comes flavored. Because people don't like to drink the regular fish oils, and then when they burp, they tend to have that.
Yes, that aftertaste.
That aftertaste.
Yes.
So going back to the pharmacy and all of what they offer, Kevin, I want you to, if you can talk a little bit, Kiriam, about all the different other services that you offer. Because I'm seeing here that you offer free blood pressure checks daily, also free weight and height checks as well daily, and then free sugar testing every Wednesday and Thursday, which I think is really good.
Yeah.
So what was the decision to kind of include this as part of your services?
It's just something we want to give back to the people, and most people have to go to the hospitals or clinics to get these services. So, like my husband said, the pharmacy is at the center of the town.
Nice.
We get a lot of people commuting, so people drop by and says, "Can you please check my pressure?"
Nice.
It takes a quick 5 minutes to take a rest, and then I check the pressure. The sugar testing is very important. It's not the one from the arm like in the lab. It's the quick home testing to know the varies of more or less how the sugar is. And that's taken in the morning, as I tell people, in ayunas, which is before eating. Yeah. So we know what the sugar levels before consuming anything.
Yeah. And thank you so much for providing that service to the people that are passing through, Orange Walk. Because as you mentioned, it provides accessibility to that service. Rather going all the way to the hospital, they can go to your pharmacy and be able to provide that. And then from there, they get a proper consultation with you and what products they may be able to take that will be very helpful for them in managing their healthcare. Let's go back to talking about these cough syrups. And you mentioned something very important, which was we have cough syrups, but it may depend on who you're giving it to. For instance, a diabetic cannot take any cough syrup.
Very true.
So let's talk a bit more about
Yes,
that.
so let's go back to the cough syrups. When people walk in, especially if I see someone more elderly on the elderly side, my first question is, what type of cough do you have? A dry cough, a moist cough, runny nose, sneezing. And then from there on, I ask, are you a diabetic? Because we do have sugar-free cough syrups.
Okay.
We have these two Ambroxyls are very, very popular.
They are, yeah.
This one is like a lot of people know this blue box. That's what they ask for. But this green box in particular is without sugar.
Oh.
Okay.
And it has it on the side suitable for diabetics. So when a diabetic comes in and they ask for an Ambroxyl in particular, this is the one I would give them.
Okay.
Because this is a sugar-free cough syrup. Likewise with the Fluibron, this is a very popular cough syrup too.
Yes, it is.
And this is for overall congestion, sneezing, coughing, everything. And this is sugar-free formula. It says it's on the box too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why is it important for you to suggest a sugar-free? I mean, I probably know the answer, but for somebody that's wondering, why would you specifically recommend a sugar-free for diabetics?
Right, because we want them to keep their sugar levels quite controlled throughout the day, even taking these other medications.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we also have these little ones, popular for the kids. They come in flavor. And the Grip, it's in syrup form. It has for headache, sore throat, congestion, coughing. And this is my main go-to because it's flavored. A lot of kids dislike taking medication. But when I would tell them, oh, it comes flavored, they would tell their mom, like, see, mommy, get it for me. And such.
Yeah. That's the best seller right there.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay. So
Those are the cough syrups.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can we get into some of the supplements here?
Okay.
I see creatine, Kevin, and also we have whey protein. You talk a little bit about, so you have more products than just these, obviously, for the supplements.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the creatine and
Yeah, we
including
also
this in part of the whole pharmaceutical experience? Because usually when you go to pharmacy, you're just trying to get meds to get better, but this is actually good because usually you have to go to like a natural, like food store, like a health food store, but this is like available.
Yeah, like I said, we try to cater to everyone's need, right? That's why fit is in our name, because you have to be not only fit physically but also fit, healthy to perform whatever it is you're performing, whether it be at your job, whether it be a sport, whether it be
at the gym.
At the gym, right? So speaking of gym and remaining healthy, we offer protein. We have whey protein that we sell. We have different flavors. We have creatine as well too, because we know that people take creatine as well. They either take the protein or take the creatine, or some of them take both. We also have pre-workout as well too. That is taken before going to workout or before performing a sport, right? It's just a boost. It's just to give you some energy so that you are able to perform. Now, the creatine that we have micronized and we have monohydrate. Now, the difference between both of them is the micronized is a bit much more easier to digest. It stirs better when you mix it, whereas the monohydrate isn't. However, the monohydrate is more cost effective. It's more economic if you would prefer that, right? We also have multivitamins to sell for. We have what, men's and women's, as well as kids multivitamins as well too. So we have all of that readily available for each member of the family.
All right, that's so good to know. So if you're looking for anything that can contribute towards your fitness routine, you have creatine and you have whey protein. And it's so good because for instance, we take protein because if you're like, if you're building muscle, for instance, you need that protein that you may not have during your regular meals.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's a great supplement for you to be.
Just to add to that, right, as we said, one of the things that we pride ourselves on is also having the best customer service.
Nice.
Now, what comes with customer service is we try to inform our customers, our clients, with everything they need to know. So, for example, someone who's just starting, let's say, their fitness journey, they may not know what to take, how to take it, what they should start off with. We try to inform them as best as we can, and we try to advise them as well. And that's not only for the individuals that come in and want to speak about their fitness journey, that also goes for people who are currently battling some sort of illness or are recovering from some sickness. We advise them as best as what they can do.
Yeah.
Right? So our customer service, that comes in when it comes, that's part of our customer service, is where we try to inform, educate, and provide as much knowledge and insight to our customers.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extremely holistic, Kevin. And I want to get this question in because it's a personal interest, so I'm being a little selfish right now. You talk about the top quality skincare, really into skincare, and skincare is a reflection of how you're doing inside your body as well. Can you just briefly talk about the skincare services that you offer as well?
Yeah, so we have a wide variety of skincare products. We have for acne, for dry skin, for oily skin. We have, as you know, the salicylic acid for the acne. And also that, I do tend to get a lot of teens coming with their parents and they would say, oh, I have a breakout, this and that, what can I get? And by experience, what I've been struggling with acne as well, I would tell them, and I would ask, do you have oily skin, dry skin? What do you use sunblock? Because that's highly important, and that's what we cater as well. We have sunblocks, a wide variety of sunblocks too. Serums such as the vitamin C that helps with the scarring. We also have retinol for people over 25 that could start using retinol to help rejuvenate the skin. So yeah, we do tend to get people coming in, and I would educate them and let them know more in regards to the skincare.
Nice.
Because of what I go through personally as well. People would use some skincare and be like, it's not working. They would have flares, but it's called purging.
Yes,
which
the skin
is,
purges first before it gets
it takes out all the impurities from beneath the skin.
Yes.
And it would last within 2 to 3 weeks, and then the skin would shine and look good. So I would tell them, do not get discouraged. Continue your treatment, and you're going to see a difference.
Well, Kiram, thank you, Kiram, and Jorge, thank you so much for this conversation. It's like one thing that we're able to pick up is that when you go to Best Fit Pharmacy, you're definitely going to get an informed and a proper customer service, because the way how you relate to your customers, from experience, but also from your training, is the thing. We can find something that best suits you, and that's so good to hear, because it has to be customer oriented, right? Not all customers are the same, so we definitely thank you for joining us and being able to give us that guide. Jorge, can you please remind our viewers once more where your pharmacy is located, what are your opening hours, and if there's like any promotion at this time that we would like to highlight?
Yeah, so we're located at number 2 Park Street, Orange Walk Town, right across from La Immaculata Credit Union. We also deliver countrywide as well too.
Okay.
Nice.
We're very much online. We have a Facebook page, we're on Instagram. We get customers from all over the country, and we ship whatever order they have, we ship it to them, right? So we deliver countrywide. You can reach us at 613-2378, and we're on WhatsApp as well. We're on Messenger as well too, so you can reach out to us however you'd like.
Okay.
We have a quick response. We offer a quick response, and what we have going on for the month of October, well, another thing about Best Fit Pharmacy as well is we collaborate with different NGOs to try to raise funds and awareness. This month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we collaborated with the Orange Walk Cancer Support Group to raise awareness and raise funds. via the selling of breast cancer shirts. So that's what we've been doing for the month of October. So we pride ourselves in being a part of the community. We try to do a lot of community outreach because we feel like it's our responsibility in the health industry to assist as best as we can. That has always been one of the goals that we had prior to opening, and we're very proud and we're happy to see that we've been following through with that objective.
That is true.
And if there's any other NGOs out there that would like to reach out and work with us, please feel free to contact us, and we're willing to help. There was a month where we collaborated with the Lupus and RA Association of Belize. That was in May, a couple years back, and we'd be happy to work with them again next year.
Very well. Thank you so much, Jorge.
Next month is Diabetes Awareness Month, so we have something planned for that.
Nice.
We've already discussed about the sugar testing being free on Wednesdays and Thursdays, right?
Yeah.
Might be for the entire month.
All right, so maybe next month you can join us to have that conversation,
Yeah,
raise awareness on diabetes prevention and treatment. As we wrap up, Kyria, as a pharmacist, any recommendations, any last words you have for our viewers?
Well, I beg, please start taking your vitamins to boost up the immune system, or overall vitamins to help.
Yeah.
Probiotics, if you're someone who suffers with the digestion system, please look after your kids, give them their vitamins, boost up their immune system. And if you need any assistance, we're here to help.
Very well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, folks. So with that, we're going to go to our next commercial break. When we're back, we continue with our health and wellness conversation with Dr. Sosa as we talk about World Stroke Day. Stay tuned.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
All right. When the one fun day on, the window open and the light may turn off. It look like you listen to me, Jamie.
Not only that, I even get a new coffee mug where keep my coffee hot all day.
I'm impressed. You don't look like you're so hard here.
Better than that, DL can change my meter to one of their new smart meter, they call it the AMI.
Oh, I hear about it on TV for BL ad, you know.
Yes, man, it don't reach the money better to change it right now. Let's go check it out.
Hey guys, I'm almost done here.
So that when you reach my area?
We're upgrading meters across Belize, house by house, business by business. Always look out for BL logo, uniforms, and IDs. BL will make you know when we're in the area. The EMI meter rollout is a part of BL strategy to modernize our energy services.
You don't need to come in at my house, right?
Come in your house, boss, only if you got something good for you.
BEL, bringing you a brighter tomorrow. Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for a journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
These charter means aren't
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023 in the
Good evening. Good evening. I'm Sheree Culsel, and here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craig.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Muy buenos dias, my beautiful Sunup on 7 family. Welcome back to your Wednesday episode. We have Dr. John Sosa, neurologist at Belize Medical Associates, on our couch today as we talk about World Stroke Day. A very important conversation as we talk about what are some of the symptoms of stroke, what are some of the causes, and what is life after stroke. Before we get into the conversation, as always, we like to do a check-in with you, Doc. How is your energy level from 1 to 10 on this Wednesday?
Good morning and welcome. I think I'm an 8.
An 8? Okay.
If I sleep good all night, I'm at it.
I
Probably
remember.
a 15.
Yeah, I from the last conversation that we had, I asked you what is your secret, and you said sleep. Sleep
Yeah.
is very
Rest.
important for your energy level to be good at the start of the day.
Anyway, thank you for the welcome. All right, I'm always happy to be here.
Yeah, and we thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for the audience that's listening in.
Yeah, so shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I'm sure you're known by so much people if there's one thing. Yeah.
I don't know, but...
Yes, you're known, Dr. Sosa.
Yeah, that is true. And you're here for a very important conversation, which is stroke. You know,
Yes.
we talked about how common is stroke, and you mentioned that every day there's somebody that has an
Right.
experience of stroke.
So actually, 1 in 4 people in their lifetimes will have a stroke.
1 in 4?
1 in 4. That's
My
a whole lot of
goodness.
people, right?
It is.
And every day someone comes with, well, usually more than one person comes with a stroke every day. So that's a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
And stroke causes a lot of disability and a lot of mortality. Right? And we really don't think of it, but strokes can happen at any age, from you're inside your mother's womb until you're very, very old.
Wow.
Right? So you have strokes that are what we call perinatal.
Wow.
Right? And strokes in kids and strokes in adolescents and young adults. And you have, at every age, you have people with strokes.
Wow.
So that's a thing we always have to be looking for that we don't think about, right?
Yeah.
So stroke very common,
yeah,
in a sense, no?
Right. So
And
if you
because
could
it's a big burden on society.
Yeah. So you could define what a stroke is. What would that be?
So as you have, well, 2 basic kinds of stroke. You have strokes where a blood vessel is blocked
Okay.
because it has a plaque. You got a blockage from a fat or something inside. Or one clot block it, and you have strokes where you bleed. So you have ischemic strokes, which are like 80-85%. And you have hemorrhagic strokes, the bleeding type, which are like 15 or 20% of all your strokes. So you have 2 big types of stroke, and the treatment differs.
Okay.
So when you have a stroke, what you really want is get to a doctor as quickly as possible, because you did a CT scan to determine the type of stroke.
Okay.
Because actually 70% of strokes are what we call silent strokes. 7 out of 10 stroke. The person don't know you have a stroke.
So the person doesn't know they had a stroke?
No.
My
But
goodness.
they have little minor symptoms and don't really pay it mind.
All right. So we're going to talk about that. You know, like, what are some of the causes of stroke?
So big things that are, well, highly prevalent in our society, you know. First thing is hypertension. Then you have obesity, you have diabetes, right? You have what we call dyslipidemia, high cholesterol, high triglycerides. And then just bad genetics. But the first 4 things basically the lifestyle, no? A lot of times. So if we can control basically our appetite, our mouth, do the exercise, we would do a lot to prevent a stroke for ourselves.
Okay.
So lifestyle has a lot to do with prevention, because we can try and control, and medications when we need, no? Because you really have to control your pressure, your sugar, your weight, your diet, to try avoid having strokes, no?
Right. So it sounds like the first thing, we got to prevent these chronic conditions from
And
developing in
quality
your body
exercise, no?
to prevent a stroke.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my question is, Dr. Sosa, is you said earlier that 70% of people that have strokes, they have silent strokes?
No. 70% of strokes are silent.
70% of strokes are silent.
So the person don't know.
So they don't know. So what are the symptoms that we can look for? Like, what if we're somewhere at work, someone's having a silent stroke? How can I tell?
Yeah, so there's a very important thing that mostly first world countries do. They try to promote. You have an acronym. You have a thing called FAST. And World Stroke Day always promotes, and it's always the 29th of October, World Stroke Day, and they always promote a thing called act fast. So fast means you notice what is happening to you. So the F, the face, your face go back on one side, you droop, right? Okay. So fast means things. So you have your strength that you need to notice on one side. You need to know your speech, how it is, right? If you go blind or if you get sudden vision problems, if you get suddenly dizzy, right? If you suddenly feel drunk, if you're got a really bad headache all of a sudden, all those things like warn you by one stroke they happen. And so the T is the time, no? Because the faster you get to a doctor or hospital or get a CT scan done,
Okay.
the more things you can do, because nowadays we have a thing that we call clot busting or thrombolysis, where you give medication to unblock the clot if you have an acute stroke. But you have to get to the doctor fast enough, because you have to give that treatment before 4.5 hours from the stroke start.
Okay.
Right? And that treatment is available, for example, in BMA. So we have medications that are clot busters.
Okay.
But the unfortunate thing, I believe, is that people don't notice. Right? They don't notice if they face the droop, or they don't think nothing of it and come 3 days later, or if they get weak on one side. And sometimes not even the doctor pay them mind. They go to the hospital and they send them back home
Yeah.
even though they have one stroke.
Wow.
Things like that happen.
Yeah, wow, that's so
unfortunately.
real. Mm-hmm.
So we really need to like educate our public, maybe public service announcements and so, on what are the symptoms of a stroke. You have countries in this part of the world, right, the Western Hemisphere. I'm not sure if any Caribbean country has one, including Belize, that they have what we call a stroke plan, which is the government institutes a stroke plan, right, on a whole as part of their national health plan. Belize don't have no stroke plan, right? You have like 7 or 8 countries in Latin America and Latin America that have a stroke plan.
Okay.
The only one in Central America is actually Costa Rica. They have a stroke plan.
What is that stroke
plan? Stroke plan now, what all you need to have to give good stroke management.
Okay.
So you have to have, when the things start, that you do public service announcements, that people know what is a stroke.
Okay.
Then you have an ambulance service that can adequately reach in time that person to transport them to hospital, right? That the emergency room people recognize the emergency that you have because you want to try and unblock the stroke if possible. So you have like an hour for do all of that. Because you want, when you reach the hospital, that you have 1 hour that you get CAT scan done and start your medication to unblock that stroke.
Right.
So all that is part of a national stroke plan. But for have that, well, you need to have the adequate doctors trained to give the medication. So you have to have a stroke team, right? Well, we have the Belize, but we don't really got one stroke team.
I see.
You get me?
Yeah.
So that's a lead thing along the line. All right. So that is something to work on too, a stroke plan for Belize. Right?
I agree. That would be a
get me?
great initiative to have. And very much needed, especially as you say, like 1 in 4 persons
Exactly,
experiences a stroke. You know, and every day you have more than 1 person that shows up.
And by the way, the last time I checked, stroke is, for mortality, is either 3rd or 4th in Belize.
Wow.
A lot of people die from strokes.
Okay.
Right, comparatively speaking, no?
Yeah. So let's talk about that. What is the survival rate of somebody with a stroke?
Okay, so actually, at least for Belize, I don't know a definite number, but I know the mortality rate more or less is anywhere from 3 to 7%.
Okay.
Right? From the small little things that we've done, small little studies we've done, right, is around from 3 to 7%, which means your survival at that moment is around 93%, which is really good. But down the road, because we do survivals at 1 day, at 1 month, at 1 year, but down the road, at 1 year, your survival rate is around only 60%. So 40% of people die at 1 year.
Wow.
Right? That's a high rate.
It is definitely high.
So you might not die immediately, but because you get damage and you stay in a bed, you get bed sore, you get infections, and then you die eventually.
Okay.
And it's very costly to take care of a survivor, right, who is damaged.
Yeah.
Because you need a lot of things. You need a hospital bed, you need equipment, you need people to take care. There's a cost to it.
So let's, Miriam, I don't know if you have any questions.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Were you getting into, we're going to talk about life after a stroke.
That's what I was going to get to.
You were just talking about like, okay, now that they've had it, this is the aftermath. And it can lead to fatality because the support isn't there, or, you know, you can't use half of your body, you know what I mean? What are you going to do? You need the support. So, but what about the aftermath for people who do overcome? What does that look like?
Our brain is a really nice organ, right? Your brain have that they call reconnect. We call it plasticity.
Plasticity.
So your brain dies, right? And when you're very young, you connect easier than when you get older. You connect less easy, but you still connect.
Okay.
So that connection happens with what we call therapy. So you could have occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy, right? And if your stroke is not in such a bad place, right? Because different places in your brain gives you different things.
Right.
And if it's small enough, you can recover fully.
Okay.
Or as best as possible, that you can even return to a job, for example.
Wow.
And you have people like that. And you have very little tiny strokes. Well, not much happens, but eventually you'll get a big one if you don't do things to stop it.
Right.
So people will come, talk, walk, with everything, and they don't get 5 tiny strokes.
Oof.
So we have to tell them how to try and prevent having more and give medications to prevent more strokes, all right? But the person have to do it. And Belize is a very idiosyncratic society, right? People don't like take medication. You get me? They go and take all kind of bush and this and that. and forget they have to take medication. And so they have repeated strokes because their blood pressure is repeatedly high, or blood sugar repeatedly high, or they continue eat the exact same way and not really take care of a good diet and do the exercise and so. And eventually they get a big stroke and things go wrong. So if you get a big stroke and things go wrong, you need assistance.
Yes.
Assistance is costly because you need somebody to help take care of you. Plus you need to spend money for get good food, the proper food for yourself. And you need all the therapies that cost money, right? And of course, if you stay in a bed, well, then things going bad, you want to die eventually, you know?
Yeah.
And so, good if you have a small stroke, you don't recover. Bad if you have a small stroke in a wrong place or a big stroke, and then it will be a very, very, very big cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge cost to a family.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? The cost that will come with it, but also like, especially how some people, after the experience of stroke, they may come up with a disability, right? They may not be able to move an arm or not walk properly. And this can also cause emotional distress on certain people, which is another thing that can happen of life after.
Well, everybody who get a big stroke get depressed.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's a life, no? You
Mhm.
can't do over good.
Yeah.
If you're very limited, all of a sudden, it causes a big problem for you emotionally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So can we say that a stroke is kind of like a warning sign, especially like a minor one, that there's something going on in your system that needs to get addressed ASAP?
Exactly. So when we have little small strokes, or we have a thing called TIA, so part we got one tiny stroke that you totally recover from, right? We call it transient ischemic attacks of the brain. That they tell you, boy, one big stroke will happen one of these days, right? Soon or far away, but one big stroke will happen. Try and prevent it. So we need to do studies to find out how we are. So they got different studies you could do to find out how good the flow in your brain is.
Okay.
Because when the blood not flow into your brain, and when you have a stroke, no?
Okay.
But the blood not flow good, you have ways to find that out.
Yeah.
With
Can you
different-
talk about
with different
what that
equipment.
study looks like? What's the name of it?
So,
how can that
so
be
the first thing you do is a thing called an ordinary CAT scan of your brain.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you can do a thing called an angiogram of the blood vessels in the brain, right? To see how the blood is flowing. Then you see how the blood flows through your neck, which is a Doppler ultrasound. Then you see how your heart they work.
Okay.
You call it an echocardiogram. And of course, you have to do all your lab testing to find out. And at different ages, your testing is different. If a kid comes with a stroke, the first thing you want to know if that person has sickle cell disease or sickle cell trait.
Look at that.
Okay.
Because that gave you stroke when you're young, no? For example. And then you have other genetic reasons for having stroke when you're young, right? So the testing is different according to age.
Okay.
Which is why you need to say, one brain doctor or stroke doctor.
Okay.
To figure that out, no?
Right.
Makes sense.
Okay. So one of the things that you've mentioned initially is that chronic conditions like hypertension, diabetes, obesity are factors that can contribute to somebody to have a stroke.
Having a stroke, yeah.
And so definitely the first thing to do is to avoid these things. Well, let's say there's a diabetic or there's a hypertensive person. How often should they be doing checkups to prevent, I guess, any stroke? You mentioned
Yeah.
lab tests and all these things. What is part of the care plan
So,
of
all
these
right.
persons
So
to prevent a stroke?
strokes are much more frequent in people over 60. Well, actually over 65.
Okay.
We have one thing called NHI at Belize, which do basic testing for anybody and everybody who gets registered. So as you go past 65, and even younger if you want to, you should try and get at least monthly checks or every 2 months,
Okay.
right? At least see the doctor, check your pressure, do a little blood sugar, things like that. And often enough, do a lipid test or the cholesterol testing, no? To see how that is. And if you need be, you do further testing, and the doctor will know, right? If you need to do further testing or see a specialist, and then they refer you to do more stuff.
Okay.
We call that prevention or primary care medicine. Because prevention better than cure. People like say that, but that's the truth.
It is.
So what you want is you do all your testing on a regular basis, right? Now, if you're younger, every 6 months, once a year, that's all right, no? A young adult like you guys, to see how you are. And as you get older, it gets more frequent. And obviously, kids get checked very frequently in their clinic, right, for their care when they're infants and babies and toddlers and like that. Okay, so that is what we want. We want that you use your clinics to get your regular checks.
Thank you.
Because you'll be surprised how many times I see people who have never gone to an NHI clinic. Some people not even know about NHI.
Yeah,
That's
or
a funny
haven't
thing,
even
right?
done a screening, in
yeah.
more than a year, 2 years, or like
so that happens.
A very, very long time. You know, one of the things that you mentioned is, you know, control what you eat.
Yeah.
And I hear like often people are recommended to have like food high in antioxidants, because antioxidants help to with blood.
So there are certain kinds of food that help. So like, if you're not allergic to anything, no? So like a small handful of nuts every day, cause you'll get good stuff.
Okay.
Like berries, but berries I believe is kind of, if you go find, you get like blueberry, very expensive, but they have things in them, right, that are full of antioxidants, prebiotics and probiotics,
Okay.
right, if you can. But then you need to think again, that one cost, no? Like you have to go buy things like Yakult and yogurt, and so that's not cheap, right?
Yeah.
Or go to the market, go buy all the green leafy veg, not cheap, no? So there's a cost to it. So that's another thing to work on as in public health. How can we lower costs of certain food items for the public in general, that we eat better?
Yes.
Right? You get me? So there's like big programs you can put in place to try and help that, like subsidize costs of certain food items for certain people, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be good, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and going back to the preventative measures, you talked about diet and exercise. What does it look like in the aftermath? Because preventatively, if you're doing the correct diet and exercise, you won't have to get to this place where you're having a stroke. But afterward, what are some things that you would recommend for someone who is still, they're coming out of a stroke, or they're still able to move their body? Is walking safe? Because I think too, what people after that, it's like you don't want to rock the boat, so you're afraid to do too much that it may overstimulate the body. So what are some safe ways to work out or keep fit in the aftermath of a stroke?
So there's a thing called physical therapy. And in Belize, we're kind of lucky because we have KHMH with several physical therapists who are really well trained, good people. But many places don't have physical therapy. But the big thing after a stroke is getting physical therapy to get you back to the point that you become independent, right? Because you want to be as independent as possible, because that gives you your life expectancy. The less independent you are, the higher mortality and morbidity or your illnesses will be afterwards.
Right.
So the dealer is that the therapist helps you to get to the point where you're much more independent. And so you can be independent using a walker or a cane or ambulating on your own, for example. But independence means that you go do things for yourself, no?
Yeah.
You get me? You could go bed, use a bathroom, you could go to a store, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
Maybe drive. And that is the point you want to reach. No, any therapy that you do is good. Obviously enough, you have a stroke, you say a disability, you can't go run, you can't go do marathon, whatever, you know. But there are things you can do.
Yeah.
So the therapist guides you on what kind of exercises you need to get done. And that's important. And therapy can be up to 18 months after a stroke.
Wow, 18 months.
Yeah.
Okay, and just a quick question for you, Dr. Sosa. Someone's asking in the chat if you can explain the difference between a stroke and an aneurysm.
So aneurysms, I'm going to start from the beginning then. 1 in 100 people have aneurysms. We just don't know. Of that 1 in 100, 6 out of the 1 in 100, that aneurysm will break. An aneurysm is an artery that has a balloon on it, right? So the arterial wall, the wall of the artery, weak, and they got one ball, and the blood under pressure, and the ball pop, the blood come out.
Yeah, it's like a tire, right?
Right.
And then you have...
Yeah, exactly. And so when that pop, then that's a rupture of an aneurysm, and you get a bleeding.
Okay.
And if the bleeding big enough, you die.
Okay.
And if the bleeding small, you reach hospital, but you have to fix the aneurysm.
Right, of course.
Right? So an aneurysm causes a hemorrhagic stroke.
Got you. So
Okay.
it leads into, okay. Wow. Oh, I'm learning so much today, Kevin.
Yeah, definitely. One thing that I appreciate about the conversation with you always, Dr. Sosa, is you are sharing, you know, the medical perspective as regards to causes, symptoms.
Yes.
And you're also doing, I would say, what is part of your responsibility, which is being an advocate for your patients. And you talk about how can we improve policies where we make all these foods that are saying, you have to eat this, you have to eat that. But the reality of it is it's expensive. So saying, if you want to improve the quality of care and the quality of life of our citizens, then we need to have policies in place where we make these things accessible.
And that is all part of a stroke plan for our country, a national stroke plan, which we don't have.
Which we do not have.
Right.
Definitely.
Are there talks about having a stroke plan come into place for Belize?
Not as far as I know.
No?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
How could that start to happen, or would they?
So partially I am to blame, but I have made suggestions to various ministers of health before.
Okay.
On how we could help with certain things, no? Not only for stroke plans, but for example, what kind of doctors we should have, what specialists we should have, how many things like that. But governments work very slowly, especially in Belize. They crawl when it comes to certain things. And unfortunately, sometimes people don't listen. So everything goes slow, no?
Okay.
And if something is an interest of a minister, that goes a little bit faster.
Right.
But if there is not an interest, a personal interest, it goes slower. But we could always, again, open that conversation because it has to be a governmental thing that you involve people from different ministries.
Okay.
Right? Be it education, health, social services, that we can educate.
Yeah.
And try and get policies in that
Put
we,
into
could, that we could feed people better, especially like people who need it, like elderly people.
Yes.
That there are plans for that. That we develop a small stroke center, right? We have an ICU that is pretty good. Things like that, no? That we have to develop.
Okay.
And educate, and we have to train more people.
Okay.
You can't have just one of me.
Of course.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I did a small stroke fellowship. You can't have one person like me.
That's true.
You have to have 5 or 10 women.
Yeah.
You get me? And
Available throughout the country, yeah.
Right.
Completely correct, Dr. Sosa.
And I guess we cannot, end this by reiterating that stroke is preventable.
It is.
Exactly.
Prevent all these chronic conditions, diabetes, hypertension.
Exactly.
Diet and exercise.
Diet and exercise. Manage your sleep, drink water, manage your stress. All of those things are very important.
And again, let me say, if you're starting to have a stroke and you've been educated enough to learn the symptoms, and I said public education on symptoms of stroke, then if you reach a doctor fast enough, right? And like I said, at BME, we have a thing called thrombolysis, where you unblock your stroke, your things that cause a stroke, which is the blocked artery. Then you get help, but then there's a cost to that.
Exactly.
So again, publicly, all that needs to be looked at.
Be considered.
That our public places have the same medication. But then again, we get stuck at sometimes we not even got aspirin or trouble.
Yes, that's true.
That's we're gonna go now like another way about these deficiencies of the health system.
Yeah.
But Dr. Sosa, we thank you so much for joining us today to bring
Thank
this
you very
important
much for the
conversation.
invite.
Yeah, very
We talk about
informative.
World Stroke Day. What are some of the symptoms? What are some of the causes? And of course, what is life after stroke? Very important conversation for us to have. You mentioned it's very common for people to experience stroke, unfortunately, but it can be prevented.
Yes,
As we wrap up, do you have any last words to share?
I just want to encourage everyone, try and eat properly, exercise, and check yourselves, right? Make sure you check yourselves, especially when you're over 60, 65.
There you go.
Check yourself. Be certain of where you are.
Yeah, that is true. Be certain of where you are. That's so important. Folks, with that, we're going to go into our next commercial break. When we're back, we continue with great conversations for you on Sunup on 7. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Thank you.
Un grupo de gente que hemos trabajado muy duro y la tierra es para la gente de Bellavista. ¿Para qué? Para que los jóvenes puedan tener tierra. ¿Para qué? Para que los jóvenes puedan desarrollarse en el futuro. Algo que les hacía falta por mucho tiempo. Nuestros padres vienen de las fincas bananeras. Somos gentes que hemos sufrido mucho y ustedes como jóvenes se merecen mejores oportunidades.
If you didn't have land before, you will have land now. Once you have land, you have wealth.
I think they want to build, they want to settle.
I'm already having dreams of my home and everything.
You know, the wires are just, I'm really excited. I'm really happy. I can finally begin to build a house.
It's just a great feeling, you know.
Mi amigo es un hermano, una persona para el pobre. ¿Estamos de acuerdo?
All right. On the one fund the hand, the window open and the light may turn off. It look like you listen to me, Jamie.
Not only that, I even get a new coffee mug where keep my coffee hot all day.
I'm impressed. You don't look like you're so hard here.
Better than that, BL can change my meter to one of their new smart meter, they call it the AMI.
Oh, I hear about it on TV from BL ad, you know.
Yes, man, it don't reach the man the battery to change it right now. Let's go check it out.
Hey guys, I'm almost done here.
So that when you reach my area,
We're upgrading meters across Belize, house by house, business by business. Always look out for BL logo, uniforms, and IDs. BL will make you know when we're in the area. The EMI meter rollout is a part of BL strategy to modernize our energy services.
you don't need to come in at my house, right?
Come in your house, boss, only if you got something good for you.
BEL, bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sunup on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your nation station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
My beautiful people, welcome back to your Wednesday episode. We have one great conversation for you, and we're talking about Shannon's Funeral Home and Services. Joining us on our couch to talk about what services they have offered and how can you access these. We have Dorsey Leslie and Shannon Martinez Leslie, the owners of Shannon's Funeral Home and Services, joining us. Good morning, folks.
Morning, everybody. Belize and beyond.
How is your energy today?
Awesome.
1 to 10?
Awesome. I think it's pretty
Yeah,
good.
exciting. Yeah, thank
We're
you so
pretty
much.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
We're
It's
ready for it.
Very good. So it's interesting how we talked about, we're here talking about health and wellness conversation. And, as much as people do not want to talk about it, death is part of life.
It is.
And, having services like yours is an integral part of life. So let's dive into that in terms of, what, I guess, motivated you or said, hey, let's have this service available for Belizeans.
Yeah, I believe it started from when I was a young kid. I had this drive I was curious about death. What happens to us when we die?
Right.
Who takes care of us? I was curious about that situation and the moment that takes place after death. So I was eager to learn, and when I learned, I know we're a third world country, we're not that advanced in it, but I have this drive, and I want to make it better for my Belizean people.
Nice.
Okay, make this whole grief process and thing easier for people, no?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about what services do you offer?
Okay. Well, at the beginning, you know, we start from everything from the beginning of the person passing away. So as soon as your loved one, you know, dies, you would give us a call. We go, we pick up the deceased. Gently, you know, we take them to the morgue. We get them into the morgue and everything, because it's a long process to get someone into the morgue, especially if it's like a late night or early morning. And then from there, you know, we make our plans. We try to grieve with the family as well. We offer that support where they can feel comfortable in letting us know how they feel and what they would like, without let them feel that emotional burden of, you know, that sadness and that crying. You know, of course, you know, when someone passes away, you're basically your mind is confused and you're all over the place. So that what we offer is we try to make it a little easier for people to understand and work with us. You know, we try to be very calming and gentle, you know, very respectful, and let them know that yes, your person maybe passed away, but this is not the end of the road. You know, you can still make their life still memorable by the funeral arrangements and everything that you do afterwards.
Very good.
So we basically cover everything concerning funerals.
So you said like you would take them to the morgue. I guess you apply for whatever paperwork there is needs to get done. Yeah.
Yes, we try to assist in every way we can so that it kind of ease the burden from them.
The family.
Yeah, because it's a very, you know, lengthy process, and a lot of families tend to get confused and uncomfortable, and they might feel like you're rushing them, but we try to ease that down, so we give them the time to come around to us, you know. Give them that little space.
Yeah, I realize that's very important too. For one, from just hearing the process that people go through, like there's a lot of turnarounds in, you know, in this paperwork process, and then it's like you have to figure out this paperwork at the same time grieving the loss of somebody. So you're saying, hey, I wanna take this off your shoulders. I'm gonna do this for you while you process what is going on. No? Yeah. Okay. So like that's one process, and then you say what other services do you
offer?
Well, we offer the gravesite, the tombing, and did I mention we have the lowest rates in Belize?
Okay.
Yeah. So we're helping the family. You're done dealing with the deceased, so we're not trying to kill the pockets neither.
Right.
Okay.
So exactly. So we try to work with our Belizean people. We don't turn nobody away. If you have that budget, we will work with that budget.
Okay.
Yeah. We're not trying to turn nobody away or chase nobody, because we know in this being in the time of death is a very delicate and very critical situation. So you won't want to rough up the family in a Belizean way. You don't want to rough up the family. In other time, everybody the grief, everybody go through their own thing, and planning. The people mind, you know, the mindset is not there. So you try to ease the pain on them.
Yeah, no, for sure. And going back to something you mentioned earlier, Dorsey, you said that from you were a child, you wanted to have this business. But was there a specific incident or like memory that you have that really just inspired you to be like, I need to help in this specific area?
Yeah, me and my mom used to watch a show way back in the early 2000s named Crossing Jordan. She used to be a mortician. And she used to, by doing the autopsy, she used to console with the family also. Which a mortician shouldn't do that, but she helps the family and she helped cope with them and make life a little bit easier. And I was so driven by that. I took that on, and I used to always tell my mom, oh, I want to be this, I want to be this, I want to be this, until I'm officially it.
Yeah, so talk a little bit more, I think, because we don't even, like, this is something that we don't think about until the time comes, you know what I mean? But talk about, like, what was the training that you had to take? Like, what do you need to do in order to prepare yourself to become a funeral home owner?
First thing is the mindset. Is the mindset you have to realize I'm not dealing with the living, I'm dealing with the deceased. So from I was young, I braced my mind for that, and even when I was going to school, I did not take the biochemics, but I was in business. But I used to focus. I used to be passing the hospital at the morgue, looking, and passing the funeral homes, curious. I search up online. I literally build myself from way young until now. Because Belize doesn't offer courses like that in Belize, so you have to
right
mentally train yourself. And once you have the drive inside of you, you're eager to learn.
Right. Okay.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's so
Yeah, so it's good to know, like, okay, how did you get here in the first place?
Yeah.
In the essence of time, let's talk about services, and does it come in like packages? How does it look like?
Yes. So yes, the services do come in packages, where we started at like a emergency package, which would be mainly for decomposed situations, where the family wants to do an immediate burial. Then we have a more eco-friendly casket for that one.
Okay.
So you just kind of get and you bury your loved one right away. That wouldn't you wouldn't be able to get any booklets or any pictures and stuff like that because it's an emergency burial. However, after that we have like our 3 tiers, which would start at silver, gold, and platinum, and each tier comes with their own little additions to them. So you get your big pictures, you get your booklets. People have the choice of choosing what they would like as keepsakes.
Okay.
So you can get like pins, you can get bookmarkers. Some people are doing like magnets. You can, whatever what your ideal funeral for your loved one would be like, you can choose. So we give you the option. We open that option for you to choose and to make a nice decision. If you want, something extravagant or something very basic, then it goes. The price would then range from what you're asking for.
Okay, very well. And I feel like, we've had this conversation at home that funerals is still a celebration of life, right? Where you get to like see, their legacy and all these things. So I can see where people would invest in having this elaborate kind of funerals. For anybody that's interested in accessing your services, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, we're located right on Manatee Drive in Botwood Bay. If anybody, or you can call us on number by 621-6502.
Okay.
I'm literally always awake. 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock, I'm always awake.
They say that has no time, right?
Yeah.
You never know when it's going to call.
And I noticed Belizeans like say, oh, poor, let's have a poor man funeral. At Leslie's, at Shannon's funeral home, there is no such thing as a poor man funeral. It's only budgeting. Each loved one and each send-off is memorable and with respect.
Okay.
So there's no poor man funeral here. You will get the full package.
Very good. Dorsey, is there like any Facebook page? Any?
Yeah, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
What is your handle on Facebook and these other?
Is it just Shannon's Funeral?
Yes, Shannon Funeral Home and Services.
Yes, we're also on Google as well, so you can Google the page. You'll find photos of the services, also the caskets and everything that we have in store available. So we're not like where you come and you can't choose something. You can come and choose.
Very good.
So we have everything set up.
Very good. So they can find Shannon's Funeral Home and Services on different social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. You can get in touch and see what services they have available, what packages, and of course, like they say, they're going to do their best to ensure that you have a memorable send-off to your loved ones.
110%.
110%.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Miriam, do you have any last words? Any last
No,
questions?
I was just looking at all the services that you all provide, and you talked about pre-planning, the picking up of the body gravesite service. You do forensic lab pickup as well, and morgue pickups, wakes as well. So you provide an array of services. It's not just for the body. So I think it's great that this is like a holistic experience that you're providing for the family. You're doing the paperwork, you're allowing them time to grieve, and you're also taking care of the logistics and things that may be taxing on a person that's trying to just grieve. So that's an amazing thing that you all are doing. So thank you for doing the service, and for you following your inspiration and your heart for saying, I want to do this, because it's definitely different from the usual, but it's something that we need. It's a service that we need. So, and you saw a need for it, and you are self-educated in this regard.
Yes, ma'am.
So you took it upon yourself to do this. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys for having us
Thank you so
today.
much for joining us.
Really appreciate it.
Awesome. Folks, with that, we're going to go to our last commercial break. When we're back, we're going to be wrapping up today's show.
Stay tuned.
The roads of Belize connect us all. riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Un grupo de gente que hemos trabajado muy duro y la tierra es para la gente de Bellavista. ¿Para qué? Para que los jóvenes puedan tener tierra. ¿Para qué? Para que los jóvenes puedan desarrollarse en el futuro. Algo que les hacía falta por mucho tiempo. Nuestros padres vienen de las fincas bananeras. Somos gentes que hemos sufrido mucho y ustedes como jóvenes se merecen mejores oportunidades.
If you didn't have land before, you will have land now. Once you have land, you have wealth.
I think they want to build, they want to settle.
I'm already having dreams of my home and everything.
You know, the wires are just, I'm really excited. I'm really happy. I can finally begin to build a house.
It's just a great feeling, you know.
Mi amigo es un hermano, una persona para el pobre. ¿Estamos de acuerdo?
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sunup on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your nation station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
These charter means aren't from
We're
an
navigating
airplane.
along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Sheree Kelso,
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm the bureaucrat.
Belize, you're watching the nation station, Channel 7.
Like, really though? Welcome back to Sunup on 7, everybody. They came on before I was ready.
That is true. That's
Anyway.
okay. They're testing you.
They're testing me. I passed the test. Welcome back to Sunup on 7. We are wrapping up our conversation from today, Kevin. We had a very interesting and informative show. It's Wellness Wednesdays, as you know, so we did talk. We had Best Pharmacy.
Best
here.
Fit Pharmacy,
Best
talking
Fit
about their
Pharmacy,
products that they have
talking about their
available.
products, but then we also had Dr. Sosa in here talking about World Stroke Day.
Yeah.
And what are the symptoms of a stroke? How can you prevent a stroke? And then also, you know, not just the preventative measures, but then how to take care of yourself in the aftermath of things, or that 70% of them are silent strokes and people don't know.
It
which
was
is
a very, very informative
yeah.
segment with him.
It was a very informative
And,
segment.
you know, and then we ended by having a conversation with the owners of Shannon's Funeral Home and
Yeah.
Services, where you, which is part of life, you know, where you go ahead and you want to ensure you send off your loved one
Yeah.
with a lot of love, I guess with a lot of gratitude. They are able to accommodate your budget for you to be able to prepare a proper funeral for whosoever you want to do that. And again, if you miss any of our conversations, you can always go back to our Facebook recorded live, where you can stay tuned to Facebook and Instagram to see how our guests and what conversations they bring forward to the show. So we thank our guests for joining us. Miriam, we're going to see each other on Friday.
We are.
Because Friday
It's
is
Halloween.
Halloween and
We're doing a Halloween special. Should we tell them who we're going to be or no? No, it's a surprise.
No. Yeah, so Friday is our Halloween special on Sunup on 7. So stay tuned to how Miriam and I are going to get dressed. Last year, she was the killer prom queen.
No, the year before. Last year was you and Renata Beetlejuice.
Last year was Beetlejuice. Oh, yeah.
But
wow,
before it was
time
the
goes
killer
by
prom
so fast.
queen, and
I
you were
was
like
a
a zombie. Oh,
yeah.
And the eye made a drop out. That was a lot. I was like, that's too much.
That's too much. But definitely stay tuned to what we're gonna do on Friday. And if you're taking any, if you're gonna be dressing up, you can send us a photo. We would love to see how you're dressing up for Halloween also. But we thank you so much for joining us on this Wednesday episode. We love you so much. We thank you so much for your company. And as always be kind to people. You never know what people are going through.
Yes,
so be kind.
very
be kind,
true.
Be kind.
Yes,
Last
be
words as we
kind.
say goodbye, Miriam.
Yeah, usually, as usual, I say, stay grateful, stay blessed. You know what I mean? Yeah, look, that's Kevin from last year.
Oh, no.
And Renata.
That's Renata.
Yes, Renata. Free Beetlejuice inside you, girl.
That
Love
is
it.
something. I love it.
What were you guys drinking?
We were travelers.
Some travelers.
Yeah, some travelers.
Yeah.
They were having their Halloween drinks.
Yeah, it looked like you guys had fun.
We always have fun for our Halloween special.
Yeah,
So stay tuned to Friday and see how we're going to be dressing up.
Yeah, definitely.
With that, we say goodbye.
Bye, y'all. Stay grateful, stay blessed.
See you soon.
Dice.
A place to call your home, a place where you can grow. Stand by me and we'll take flight. We'll be there at morning's light. I've got you covered on all concerns we share today. You will discover how the world turns each day. When the sun comes up